I'm just going to up the volume here just in case. There we go. Okay, we're live.
Hello, everybody.
It's been a little while since we've both been here. You can tell we're a little flustered.
Well,
not really.
No, we're
It's
fine.
just technology, and sometimes, you know what? Things have updates and things change, and then you're not ready for it.
Yeah, like when you think you're just going to the next step and all of a sudden you're live. Oops. What can you do?
But
Anyways.
Today we have a really important topic to talk about.
Yeah,
and
we
so if you're new here, we're Ruth and Casey. We're a mother-daughter team. We're happy that you found us. And so, you know, if you're here, give us a like, share this video if you know it's going to help someone.
You know what? Even better, say hello. Put something in the comments.
And tell us where you're from.
It's been a long time since I've talked about lurkers, but there's so many lurkers, right? And like if you're a lurker, I'm a lurker usually on on social media stuff. I like to look and I like to watch, but I don't like to comment. I don't like to do thumbs up. And sometimes I have to remind myself, like, I need to do that. Stop being a lurker, especially like with information like this or with a video like this where it's for you to help you on your weight loss journey. And if you actually get engaged with it, you're going to learn more. You're going to take it in more. It's going to mean more to you. So get engaged. Stop being a lurker.
If something resonates with you, type what resonates.
Exactly.
Okay?
I'm just going to raise this up a tiny bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Because here is the topic for today. Ready? Portion distortion.
Yeah.
I love that title.
We know that we are like, Margie's lurking. Margie, you're not a lurker. You're an engager.
Yeah.
We love that about you.
Thanks for being engaged, Margie.
Anyways, we know that like, okay, it's the last day of January today, and we both looked at each other this morning. We were saying, wow. January can feel like the longest month of life.
Ever.
Like if you think about New Year's Day, that feels like an eternity ago.
Unless you're on a holiday in January, or if you're somewhere down south, like we live in the north where it's cold, and it's not even cold here. It's like
it's been very warm.
This is one of the warmest winters I've ever known in my entire life.
Yeah.
And so we can't complain, and we're not complaining. But so many people go down south for the winter where we live, and so then they're on holiday, and it probably goes really fast.
Yeah, probably.
But when you're stuck in the snow and in the cold, and it's just hard to get out and about, it feels long and it can feel like drudgery.
Or if you're on a weight loss journey and it's not going well, it just feels like...
It feels like, oh, I'm starting again today. Oh,
yeah. Or you feel like you haven't had a dessert for an entire eternity.
And here's what, I gotta tell everyone this.
Okay.
I had life group Bible study last night, and I decided to enjoy some dessert, seeing as you said that.
Yeah.
And I was, you know what? I was so upset at myself for taking it, because here's why. It was cherry cheesecake, and I love homemade cheesecake. And cheesecake isn't really very sweet, but here's the thing. I took the first bite and I went, ugh, I think they put salt in instead of sugar.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, I got to eat this, and I don't want to. It was hilarious.
So did you eat the whole thing?
I did, because I had to. Everyone else was saying how good it was, and I'm going, all I taste is salt. So I had taken a very little piece, and I gave my husband a bite. So I didn't have to eat very much. I was like, well, that'll teach me.
That's a different kind of portion distortion where you're like, why did I take so much even though it's like the tiniest piece? That's funny.
That was hilarious. That was just a side note.
Wow. But nobody else said anything.
No, and I was like, I honestly, I couldn't even enjoy it at all. It was just trying to get through it, and I thought, could I go to the kitchen and throw it in the garbage? And I thought, no, I better not do that. This will serve me right, because I wasn't going to take any, and then I did. So there you go.
Dear.
It's a good example of sticking with your first gut instinct is no, don't have that.
Yeah. But if you started a weight loss journey, I mean, maybe you've been on it for a long time. Maybe you didn't just start in January, but often we start anew in January after Christmas and after the holidays. And maybe it's going well. Maybe it's really not going well. You can tell us in the comments, excuse me, I'm drinking a bubbly and the fizz is getting to me here.
I'm drinking a Tim Hortons tea.
Yeah, actually, I'm double fisting. But anyways, if you're with tea and soda water, so it's a real party. Anyways, if you're here and your weight loss journey is not going well, tell us. Say, I'm struggling, or tell us what part you're struggling with. Because the one thing that we want to talk about today to help you get back on track is this idea of portion distortion. Really, the idea of portion control and just getting back to that. And that right there, if you do that, is going to revolutionize your whole weight loss journey.
Because we know how important portion control is. It can change your life because portion control can make you gain weight, it can help you maintain weight, or it can help you lose weight. All with portion control.
Exactly. And I want to just add to that and say that portion control is what, if you do it right, is what allows you to lose weight and still eat all the things.
That's right.
We just have to do it within moderation and use portion control. And that's where so many of us struggle. And I think it's this whole mentality of like, we go on these horrible diets and we say, I'm never going to have sugar again, or I'm never going to have bread again. And like, that's not real life. We're going to go have the piece of cheesecake once in a while at our life group, or we're going to go out for ice cream.
And hopefully it tastes
good. But like, we lose sight of portion control and moderation with food so easily because like we either go all or nothing, where we go, I'm never doing it again, and then we swing to the other end and we go so far overboard that it's just messy.
All I can say about my cheesecake episode is that it wasn't sugar, so I'm okay.
Yeah, you can basically say you didn't have dessert.
Anyway, portion distortion. Write that in the chat because it's something to get up here. Because over the years, portion sizes have increased significantly.
Yeah.
Especially in restaurants, and I'm sure at home as well. But with packaged foods, what was once considered a standard meal is now oversized. Like you go to any place and you can upsize it, upscale it, supersize it, or whatever. It's way different than it used to be. And now when we go to like an expensive fine dining restaurant and we get such a little amount, we go, oh, that's so little, I'm still going to be hungry after paying all that money. They're giving you the right portion sizes.
I know, isn't that crazy?
I know.
Yeah.
So why do we complain when we get the right amount?
Yeah, because we're more worried about the bang for our buck than we are the actual cost to our health of overeating.
And the fuel for our bodies.
Yeah. Wow. I know I can feel like that so easily, right?
Yeah.
It's like, why am I paying for that? There's like 2 bites of food there or whatever. But that's such a silly way to think, right? And so we've got to learn to shift back to actual portion control. And you know what? You can still eat a lot of food, but make it vegetables.
That's right.
Like fill up on the vegetables because that's what's good for our bodies anyway. And like, you don't have to be hungry, I think is what I'm trying to say. But you also don't have to like majorly overdo it on like the potatoes and the carbs and even like it's good to eat enough protein, but we don't need to have like I could think about Wendy's and their silly Baconator that has like 8 patties on it and plus half a pack of bacon. And it's like, that's unnecessary and quite frankly, not healthy.
But you know, so many of us rely on visual cues. So like when you're at home even, you know, I have different size plates. I have 3 different size plates. I have a little one, a medium one, and a big one. So if you take the big one and you put your regular scoop portion size, a regular portion size of potato on it, it looks so little on that big plate. And so your visual acuity, I want to say, it says, oh, that's not enough. You can have more because that's not a quarter of the plate. Well, no, but if you put it on the smaller plate, it's going to be a quarter of the plate.
Yeah.
So visual cues can sometimes skew us.
Well, and I'm thinking about that, and it's like at dinner time, we automatically take out the big plates.
I know.
Like that's just like what we do. So why don't we switch back to the smaller ones?
Yeah. If it's going to help you lose weight, take the smaller one, and then maybe your visual cue will be more on point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it is just so easy to fill your plate up. And then like, I think what happens is we fill our plate up and then we eat it all. And like the first few times we do that and we overeat, we feel too full. But then our stomach gets used to eating that much. And then the next time we take that much, we don't feel too full, even though it was too much food.
Yeah.
And then it can just keep getting bigger and bigger and more like that. So we feel like in order to be full, we have to eat this monstrous amount of food. And so scaling that back might actually require you to be hungry for a few days while you get used to eating smaller portion sizes.
But I want to say you don't have to be worried about feeling hungry, because
Right.
lots of times people, when they think portion control, they just think automatically, oh, but then I'm going to be hungry all day long.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not going to be hungry all day long. You have other foods to fill up on,
Yeah.
like snap peas or cauliflower and carrots and broccoli and all the vegetables that can fill you up and have very few calories.
Mm-hmm. And I also want to say too, I think especially with women, we don't eat enough protein.
That's right.
And protein really does help to fill us up and keep us feeling full for longer.
And we're talking about healthy proteins.
Yeah, exactly. And like, that might be something for you to consider tracking for a little while to see how much protein you're actually consuming in a day. And I don't know just off the top of my head what the correct amount of protein is for.
Well, it's like 5 to 7 ounces, 4 to 7
per meal. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, per meal.
Yeah.
Per day, I'm not.
Yeah, I'd have to go and look that up a little bit, because off the top of my head I can't quite think of it.
Yeah.
But
even 3 ounces of chicken is quite a bit. Like if you're having a salad and add 3 ounces of chicken, that's going to help satiate you, because it's protein. It's going to help make you fuller and stay fuller longer.
Yes. Another big thing is slow down when you're eating.
Slow down is a big one.
Yeah.
Wow. In fact, put your fork down sometimes and just for fun, see how many chews you can make out of one mouthful. Like, it can be fun just to see how
is
much
that what we're calling fun these days?
Well, yeah.
I'm just
in
kidding.
the middle of winter.
Yeah, I
right?
guess so.
But
cheap
just,
entertainment.
Like, you might do 2 chews and do a swallow, where maybe it'll help if you do 10. Think about things that you're doing, because if you're just inhaling it, you're not even stopping to enjoy the food that God has given you.
No.
Because we can glorify God even while we're eating.
Mm-hmm.
And it's being thankful. It's being mindful of what's happening, like tasting your food, like not just swallowing it.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, what's really interesting too, my husband right now is, he's totally cutting sugar out right now for 7 days to kind of clear it out of his system.
The bad sugar.
Yeah, he's still having fruit, but no refined sugar. And because he's just been feeling like he's just always going for the sugar fix and just needs to kind of cut that out. And after 3 days, we were having broccoli soup for dinner last night. And he says, he's like, I didn't know broccoli soup could taste so good. Because he usually doesn't really care for soup that much. But he was like, I think this not eating sugar thing is completely changing the way things taste.
It does.
And he was kind of astounded. And Margie says, yes, Casey, at 66, I will have fun counting my shoes.
Awesome, Margie. I love it.
That's too funny.
And Margie, I'm having a big birthday coming up real soon. So that might tell you something.
Yeah. Okay. She also says, I'm struggling with the weight because of portion control. I do find I catch myself with all I've learned from my time in Weight On Lifestyle. Thanks to you too. I need to be more consistent. We just had a noodle ID. Is that what it's called? It must be a franchise that we don't have. And they give such small noodles amount that I don't want to go back. They're even zucchini noodles. That sounds like a cool place.
It does sound like a cool place, but
it is that thing though, right? It's that psychological thing that goes, that's not enough for the amount of money this is costing.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 warning.
And sometimes that is true. But most of the time it's our distortion or portion distortion.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Maybe not all the time. And maybe not in that instance, Margie.
Yeah. Because I don't know about down there, but the cost of food up here is yikes.
Yikes is right.
Yeah, we went out for dinner a week ago.
Yeah, we did a business celebratory dinner, which we were going to do at Christmas time, like a Christmas party for our family business. But because they were sick for the last month, we had to wait till
2 months.
2 months, yeah.
Ugh.
Anyway, they're finally almost all on the mend. And so we enjoyed a dinner out, but wow. We couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of know that that's what it costs, but it's still sometimes when you look and go, whoa. I don't know what it's like down in the States, but we were with our whole team, so that includes 3 men, and one of them ordered the ribs and chicken meal.
Yeah.
We were having a nice dinner, right? And what
took
was it?
half of it home.
$55.
$55 for a chicken and ribs.
Yeah, is it half a rack of ribs or was it a full? on that. I don't
That
really
was a
remember. A full and one piece of chicken.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
$55. And we did take half of it home.
Yeah.
Or he took half of it home. And then, yeah, your kids were there, which they had hardly
Take
anything.
5 bites, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it's just expensive all the way around. So we know that.
Yeah.
So sometimes we do feel ripped off.
Yeah. I mean, we had a very good meal. We didn't feel ripped off, but you
No.
kind of go like, whoa.
And we had a really good server, so that made it
Yeah.
all worthwhile. And, you know, we were in the generous mood because that's what we have to do as a business. And thank God for what he's done for us in our business. And so we gave the guy a really good tip, and he was happy too.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah. It was great.
Yeah.
Margie says, I think we're catching up on the cost of foods, $8 for 18 eggs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Things are just pricey.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. I went to Costco last week and I think I had 8 items and it was $150.
Yikes. I know.
And it wasn't meat. Like it was nothing. It was no expensive anything. Yeah. She says, oh no, it would be bring a dish to pass. Yeah. So yeah, anyways, if you're struggling so far this year with your weight loss journey, we just really want to encourage you that portion control is so key.
It's huge. Just think about, like, get that in your head, portion distortion. We don't want you to be distorted about what a portion size looks like.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk a little bit right now about what portion size looks like for weight loss.
Yeah.
This is not for maintaining. This is for weight loss.
Yeah. Because, like, you know, we often don't talk about like the calories or macros or that type of aspect of weight loss. But really, truly, if you want to lose weight, you have to be in a caloric deficit. Right? And there's lots of information that goes into it, but that means that your body has to be burning more calories than it's consuming if you want to lose weight, really.
And some people disagree with that because it also depends on what you're eating. You know, like you can eat all the sugar and have the same amount of calories and your body's going to be not so healthy. And we're more about health.
Yeah. But my point with that is with portion control, like if you fill your plate full of food, you're going to be overeating for weight loss, right? Like if it's like piled sky high, you're going to be overeating for weight loss.
Yeah.
Because when we want to lose weight, we have to be in weight loss mode, right? And we've talked so often about how like there's a very fine line between weight loss, maintenance, and gaining.
That's right.
It's like a few hundred calories.
That's right.
It's not much.
And a few hundred calories every day over a week adds up.
Yeah.
So you only, to lose a pound, you just have to get rid of 3,500 calories because that's a pound.
Yeah.
And so 500 calories less a day in 7 days is 1 pound.
Right.
So think about that and then move your body as well. But the whole thing is to be mindful about what you're doing. Like, you know, so often when I'm eating, I turn on a show or watch a show or scroll on my phone. Well, that's not being mindful about what you're doing.
No.
I need to stop and actually think about what I'm eating and be in the moment and enjoy what I'm eating. And then you went, oh, okay, that was a good lunch. And then you're done lunch. Not snack all day because, oh, I watched a show and did I even eat?
Yeah. Well, and that's where we get ourselves in trouble with eating too much. And then all of a sudden we're not in weight loss mode anymore. Maybe we're in maintenance mode. Maybe we're gaining because we've snacked all day long and then we've had dessert after our dinner and like.
Yeah. And the other thing is don't just eat out of a bag or a box or whatever. Actually portion it out. Like use something
A
like
scale or a measuring
cup. Do something so you know that you're in the boundaries that you want to be. Because it's so easy, like I talked about before, the visual cues. We think that's what it is, but we don't actually know. So we could be giving us double what we're supposed to have for portion control.
And then like there's so many tips and tricks that like when we think about the visual cues or like what an actual portion size is, we are used to eating so much more that when we do scale it back, sometimes we go like, oh my goodness, I am going to be so hungry. Like I think about spaghetti. If you actually take a portion size that's appropriate for weight loss of spaghetti and meat sauce,
it's not very much.
It's not very much. But things that we like to do so that like visually you can go like, oh yeah, that's going to be awesome. It fills you up more is things like get some coleslaw and like fill your plate up with coleslaw, then add your noodles, then add your spaghetti sauce.
And mix
it is
it all
so
around.
good.
Yeah.
And it will fill you up and you're getting vegetables, you're getting fiber, you're
protein,
like all of it, right?
all of it.
So
and
there's
you're going to be satiated.
Exactly. So there's so many things we can do, or have a big salad before you eat your spaghetti and meat sauce, right? So that by the time you actually get to that, you filled up on good, healthy stuff. And not that spaghetti can't be healthy, depending on
What you have.
Yeah. But it's things like that. It's learning how to work within weight loss mode so that you can create a system for yourself that's going to be sustainable. Because the problem is, you could probably do the weight loss portion sizes for a few days, but then people fall off the wagon. Because then they're like, oh, I'm so hungry, or oh, that's not enough, or oh, I want more, or whatever. And so we've got to figure out ways and things to do and systems to put in place so that this can be a sustainable journey for the long haul.
Amen. So what's our verse for today? It's your favorite.
It is my favorite. Proverbs 25:16. If you find honey, eat just enough. Too much of it and you will vomit.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't want to vomit, do you?
No. And you know what? I think that verse is
hilarious.
sticks in my head so much because I actually have a very big, I don't know, I forget what the actual word of it is, the phobia of vomit, but I have that. And so that verse to me is like, oh man, I do not want to eat too much because no thanks.
But even think about what this verse says. If you find honey, and honey is a food that God gave us to enjoy, eat just enough. That's portion control.
Mm-hmm.
That verse speaks to portion control. Or you won't feel good. Some people would vomit.
Yeah.
Some people just feel like, ugh, they're bloated and they have indigestion and they're belching and they just can't.
Taking Tums all night long and Rolaids.
It's not worth it.
No. Like, do you like feeling that way? Because I hate feeling that way.
Yeah, me too.
Like, ugh.
So that verse highlights the principle of moderation or portion distortion.
Yeah.
Even good things like food can become harmful when consumed in excess. So we got to think about that. The Bible speaks to that. That's wisdom from the Bible.
Exactly. And even like you just said, too much of a good thing isn't a good thing even, right? No. And I think about when I was a teenager, I used to love carrots, and I would eat so many carrots and my skin started to turn orange.
Yeah.
Right?
My friend did that too.
Yeah. Like our bodies don't need that much carrots. And so even with that, carrots are healthy. They're a natural food. They're good for us, but we don't need too much of them, right?
God designed our bodies to function best when we practice balance, which is portion control. Totally. So,
hello, Mary Kay. Welcome from Michigan.
Oh, Mary Kay. That's a cool name.
Yeah. Maybe you just go by Mary. I don't know. But anyways.
That is, maybe sell Mary Kay.
That would be cool.
That would be awesome. Glad you joined us here. We're just about to wrap it up, but you can go back and watch all about portion distortion.
Yeah, because we were going to do a short video today, but
yeah, so
oops.
Now we need to, you got to get going.
Yeah, I do.
So we don't want to indulge. We want to use portion control in order to help us be consistent in our weight loss journey.
Well, I think we don't want to overindulge.
No, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Overindulge.
Yeah, I knew that's what you meant. Because when we do decide to enjoy something, we want to indulge and actually enjoy it without the guilt that comes along with it, right? Because that's a whole other topic.
But we never want to overindulge.
Right, because we're not, it's not good. Yeah. Karen says, hi ladies, I see such a difference in monitoring my portions. I eat veggies and a bit of fruit for snacks, and I try to drink 8 cups of water.
Woo!
I look and feel better and more energy. Grateful for your tips. That's amazing.
Thanks so much there, Karen. Way to go. Well done.
Yeah. And we're working on all those same things too every day.
Yeah, it's about health. It's not about being skinny mini. It's not about a 6-pack. It's not about trying to get into a bikini to look good on the beach. It's about health so that we can do what God is asking us to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you're struggling with portion distortion, figure it out.
Try some of our tips, okay? Use a smaller plate. Sit down and put your phone away, or just be mindful while you're eating and see what these little tips, see how they can change your life.
Yes. And don't lose hope, because it is possible for you to lose the weight and keep it off, and all done in a sustainable way that is not about depriving yourself and hating your life.
Yeah. So remember this. You are a beautiful woman chosen for greatness.
And we believe in you.
See you next time.